This is the minute that millions around the world have waited for. The return to glory. There are few names in sports more recognizable than Tiger Woods, a towering figure in professional golf for more than 2 decades, and now tonight being treated for serious injuries in a Los Angeles hospital after a devastating single-vehicle crash, sending shockwaves across the sports world, reflecting on a golf icon and a career marked by soaring highs and crushing setbacks.
Likely the exacerbation of the already bad back that he had and the surgery that he most recently had, it just seems like it would be a career ender.
Comminuted open fractures affecting both the upper and lower portions of the tibia and fibula bones were stabilized with a combination of screws and pins.
So it's clearly going to be a long road back for Tiger Woods.
You talk about rattling the cage of everybody in the sports world. Tiger just dropped this pearl, hitting balls.
Here we go, and I think Tiger loves to surprise and understate with the amazing. He loves to underpromise and overdeliver.
What would otherwise be an unremarkable sports day, middle of December, anything but Tiger is back.
You know, if you would ask me after those 3 months in the bed, would I be here? I would have given you a different answer, but there are no days off. You know, we worked every day.
You're a fighter. You've defied the odds every time.
So just to give you some numbers, he will compete tomorrow in an event for the first time in 109 days. That's since he played in the PNC Championship in December. But he's making his first official worldwide start 408 days since that single car accident, and 508 days after his last official worldwide start that came here at the Masters in 2020 when he was defending his title. You think about everything that he's been through, so well documented in that quick piece right there. The injury, the recovery, the return to the golf course at the Ritz-Carlton for the PNC Championship in Orlando, and then the induction by his daughter Sam into the Hall of Fame on the eve of the Players' Championship in March. It is now the eve of the Masters tournament, and we have spoken about Tiger so much. He is going to be a competitor. Whether or not he will be a contender, we don't yet know. Who do you think is the most likely contender this week?
I'm going to go with Jon Rahm. I've bounced back and forth, but I kind of had a feeling a week ago, #1 in greens and regulation. I know we've talked about his putting. His scrambling's not been...
I'll stick with the 3. We will continue our coverage live from the Masters. Steve Sands, Aaron Oberholzer, and Notah Begay will be here next. They will bring you that press conference from Chairman Ridley, who has been addressing the media inside the press building this morning. This is still the scene right now. Heavy thunderstorms are on their way. Players suspended, patrons trying to seek shelter. We still await word. Latest we heard is that the par 3 contest is still going ahead. We'll keep everything crossed that we get to welcome back this treasured Masters tradition.
Wednesday, the noon hour on the East Coast here at Augusta National Golf Club, the 86 Masters. Unfortunately, just like yesterday, which was at 10:55 a.m. local time, this morning at 11:21 local time, the horn blew. The patrons are evacuating. The golf course is clearing out. Inclement weather expected this afternoon. We will update you on whether or not the par 3 contest will actually even take place later this afternoon. It is a Wednesday tradition here at the Masters. Glad to have you with us live from Augusta.
Driving on Magnolia Lane, it never gets old. It's always like it's the first time.
When I go there, I feel like I'm a kid again. It's pretty special and surreal.
People ask me all the time what my favorite golf course is, and it's Augusta National. I still get goosebumps.
That's the first major that people think about winning. Everything is so perfect, you almost don't even want to leave.
As a golfer, it's the ultimate tournament. I've never come across a golfer that it hasn't impacted.
Augusta's all about that knife edge moment. It's about hitting the right shot at the right time.
Did it hook? Oh, what a shot! In your life, have you seen glory.
Always dreamed about being a Masters champion. I'm probably as happy as I've ever been in my life.
Tiger Woods on the grounds again on Wednesday, timing it perfectly with some practice, preparation, warming up for this 86 Masters as he tries to match Jack Nicklaus with an amazing run at a 6th green jacket. By the way, if you're into irony and mystique, he's 46 years of age. Back in 1986, Jack Nicklaus was 46 when he came out of nowhere to win his 6th green jacket. We'll talk about Tiger and all things condition-wise here at Augusta National Golf Club, because once again, for the 2nd consecutive day, the weather is a factor. Will there be a par 3 contest? We'll find out here shortly, but heavy thunderstorms are in the offing. The golf course is clear right now. The horn blew about 42 minutes ago at 11:21 a.m. Eastern Time. The patrons have evacuated and the golf course is clear. So hopefully not too much rain, not too much lightning, and maybe they'll be able to come back out this afternoon. And the gusts of 25, perhaps 30 miles per hour. Be tricky conditions out there here at Augusta National Golf Club. Now, earlier today, Tiger Woods was back on the grounds preparing once again, and as he usually does, he's playing a practice round with his man, Fred Couples. Freddie always has a lot to say about his favorite tournament, the conditions here at Augusta National Golf Club, and he also opined a little bit earlier today about his good friend Tiger Woods and what it's like having him back here at this 86 Masters.
I really personally think he looks the exact same. I mean, I don't know if you watched any holes, but he stood over the ball and he says, "Watch this," and he drew it around the corner. He had a great iron on 12. It hit the bank and went in the water, but it was a flush iron, and in a tournament, he knows where to aim. He'd go over there to the left. But basically, number 13 hooked it around the corner. He looks the exact same to me. How do you explain that? I really can't. I was on this thing on Monday, and people were asking me, and I said, besides, he's Tiger Woods, so I'm not worried about watching him hit a ball ever, because he's the best player I've ever seen play. It's a miraculous thing. 14 months ago, I'm balling like a baby every day. And now, you're paired with him and he looks strong. I know the leg is hurt, but he's driving it with JT. Maybe JT today was a little more pumped up, got him a few times, but he's hitting it plenty far enough to play this course. And he plays this course, as well as he does, where he's won 7 or 8 times. He's won here a bunch. He knows what to do. And if nothing, the poor guy, even if he just hits wrong, it hurts. So that's why we're kind of when we walk, we just walk. Because the last thing I want to know is getting them to laugh at me and step on a sprinkler head or something. So we're all paying attention. But he's a brilliant guy. He's a great player. And I think it's just amazing for him to be out here.
By the way, before we talk about Tigers, the 30th anniversary of Fred winning the Masters, 1992, sliding that green jacket like he did, which was amazing for me and Wisdom, the 1991 champion. Let's talk about Tiger's swing. Nobody in golf, maybe nobody in sports, gets his actions dissected more than Tiger Woods, and you know him as well as anybody. What do you make of his swing, chronologically through the years to where it stands right now?
Well, if you just look at the chronology of it from, I think if we go back to some of his moves earlier in his career, and just trying to, look how the body's moving, and you just look at the load, you look at the delivery of the club through the impact zone. That was from 2013 Players Championship, which he won. Then he dealt with some back injuries and came back in 2018 Tour Championship and won. And then that was at this past year's PNC Championship, and then we see that today prior to his warm-up. And we're all talking about the injury, but 14 months ago, the day before the accident, we were talking about recovery from the back injury, and then the accident happens and the shift focused to the right leg, which is where it has been for the past 14 months, and the recovery has been astonishing. And if you just take a look at some swings in a slow-mo view, you can kind of see that there are some subtle differences, and we'll take a look here. Now, what you want to look for, is he getting loaded and onto that right side? Yes, there's a nice load into that right side. There's the stretch that he's looking for, and then the move to the left side. Is he getting stable in that lower body? Absolutely. And then, is it fully committed, fully released, shifting the weight, releasing the hip, shoulder, staying back behind the ball? No signs of any major issues. He has made all the necessary adjustments to getting his mechanical motion where he wants it to be. Now, let's take a slight look at where he was in 2013. The only difference that you're going to see is there's a little bit more width in his thighs, between his thighs and his knees, between what you saw today and what we saw nearly 10 years ago.
What does that mean?
That's just, he had to figure out a way to get to that left side, establish stability, still maintain power, still keep the club on plane path, face angle, all of the things that you need to do, because yes, it would be great to see him play, it would be great to see him play 72 holes, but if he can't hit the ball where he's looking and where he's aiming, then it's all irrelevant. So he has to maintain good positions through his swing, hit all the technical things that he's looking at in order to produce the shots that we're seeing. And we heard Fred in his comments just talk about, guys, how he's starting to see those shots, hooking it around the corner at 13. A lot of good things are happening. Now it's just a question of, can he sustain it over these next few days?
There's a little bit more added intensity and pressure and anticipation this year, because one guy in particular decided he wasn't just going to show up and practice and warm up and get ready. He was actually going to compete in the 86 Masters. Tiger Woods came on the grounds last week. When that plane landed, Twitter almost blew up. Golf Channel almost, went on the air 24/7 talking about Tiger and planes landing at Augusta Regional. And here he is on a Wednesday. He played 9 holes this morning again. Warmed up a little bit earlier behind us at the tournament practice area. Tiger Woods competing at the Masters after 17 months away from the game, after 14 months since that devastating car accident. Nobody thought he was going to begin his quest back to professional golf here at the Masters, and here he is.
I didn't think it was going to be possible, but then again, this man has done so many things that on the golf course that we never thought were possible, quite honestly. So to Jaime's point earlier in the show, where he said, you almost expect it at this point, out of Tiger, because of what he's done in the past. So I still don't, for some reason. I just don't. I guess I'm a realist. I'm thinking the man was in a life-altering car accident. I mean, where he could have lost his life, he could have lost his leg. There, a lot of horrible things could have happened, and the horrible thing did happen. But the fact that he's here is half of a miracle, in my opinion.
Well, one thing that I think has come out of it is a deeper sense of appreciation that he has for an opportunity to play the game again. And I think he's sort of trying to take that to the next level. I mean, you look at that earlier shot. I mean, his legs days in the gym might not be as intense, but the arm days, man, he's got some guns going on there, and I think that's the unique ability about him. You kind of chuckle about it, but he understands the forces that you need to have in place to create club head speed and shot variation. And if you can get a little bit stronger in the upper body, and Bryson kind of has proven that to a different degree, you can still generate power the way that sort of the more modern players are generating it. And I think that is going to be something that I'll be curious to watch over this next couple of days, is if he can access those shots when he needs them.